Welcome to another edition of General Hospital Spotlight right here on ABC11.com and anywhere you stream ABC 11. And our guest this week is one of my favorite guests and cast members of General Hospital, the lovely and talented Eden McCoy, who plays Josslyn Jacks. Eden, thanks for hopping on tonight.
Thank you. He was just explaining that it's the 4-year anniversary of our first interview together. So this is very special, and I'm honored always to talk to you.
And well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You've just celebrated 10 years as Josslyn Jacks on General Hospital. Talk about that first day when you stepped on the stage at Prospect Studios. As
I
a
was
as a 12-year-old kid, what was going through your mind?
I was so terrified. I was so terrified and nervous. I definitely didn't have, it's not that I wasn't confident. Maybe it was. I mean, I was 12 years old, but I remember the nerves and I remember kind of tiptoeing around this machine that moved so quickly and was so like formulaic and speedy, and everyone was so amazingly good at what they did, cast crew, that I felt terrified to like jump in to that really fast moving ship. Um, and I remember meeting Laura Wright, of course. I met everyone at the same time. And it was a really busy day. Any wedding sequence you have, or nurse's ball sequence, or holiday sequence, when it's, 7+ people in a scene, it's a little bit of a circus, and there's a little bit of dread that goes into those days on everybody's behalf. And so I think everybody was kind of just trying to get through the day. And I remember Maurice really terrified me. I was just having this conversation with him, and I was so nervous because he just so desperately wanted to go to lunch. And I was playing the flute, but not actually. I was fake playing the flute as an audio recording played and billowed through the soundstage. And that wasn't working. And all of the cast just wanted to go to lunch. And I was like, oh my God, no, they're gonna hate me for the rest of my life. And they didn't. And it all turned out to be totally fine. But I think everything, honestly, was really gradual. It wasn't like I joined the family and then it was immediate family. Not that it should be that. I just had such a separate relationship in terms of how those all grew over the years. I just went through phases with everybody and got to know everybody kind of at a different pace, which I loved. Like I view everybody very, very separate.
Now that you've been here 10 years, you actually work with some younger actors and actresses. Scarlett
Hmm.
Spears, Vera Weaver. Talk about,
Hmm.
do you do you give them guidance? I mean, you're talking an 8 and a 9, 8 and 10 year old kids coming into the same spot you were. I mean, obviously Scarlett has been around for a while, and Lord knows she's doing amazing things elsewhere as well. Um, do you offer them kind of guidance or any help at all?
I would love to offer them guidance, but I don't think they need my guidance. I think all of the kids on the show that I've watched after me, and like no longer being the young one on set, it's so sweet to see, because when I see like the new teen scene that I used to be, and ideations of that, it's so bittersweet because I remember being them in a sense, and now I that's not my life anymore. And it brings up really fond memories of being that age, but they're all brilliant. I mean, if they asked me for my guidance, I would be honored. It's not something that I necessarily go out of my way to do, because honestly, they're all such their own people, and they're just sponges. And I don't know. I'm sure the wonderful actors that play their parents might have a different story, and I think that they have more of like that maternal and paternal instinct to kind of jump in. But for me, I remember being that age. I remember being all ages, and I remember always wanting to kind of be treated older than I was. So I'm not that everyone has to be this way, but I'm kind of sensitive when I'm talking to younger people because I always wanted to be an equal to who I was speaking to. And I view them as equals. It's not even like they bring up memories for me, but they're little adults in my head, you know?
And speaking of influence you've had on some people, I recently spoke to both Braden and Gio, who said that you were so welcoming to them, and your bond, your all three of your all's bond was like instantaneous click. Can you just talk about
Oh.
that for a few minutes?
That's so sweet to hear. Yeah, I mean, I remember both of their first days separately. Gio obviously was first, and he played the violin the very first episode. And I remember just seeing this guy have a violin in his hand, and I was like, "What's going on? Who is this person?" And I was talking to Mark Teschner, our wonderful casting director, who was on set Gio's first day and the first time I worked with Gio, and I was talking to him, and he pointed him out, and he was like, "Oh, that's Gio. He plays Gio," and I was like, "Wow, that's gonna help me out." Because it's this person's first day, and I just get to call him by his name. Great. But Gio was so lovely and so well prepared and wanted to do such a great job, and that hasn't changed. And asked me a bunch of questions about how everything worked, and was up all night, I think, watching and trying to learn his family tree, or at least like all of the characters present on the show, and told me that he had watched some of my work, which kind of blew my mind because I forget people watch the show. It sounds ridiculous, but I totally do. And so he was lovely, and Braden the same. Like Braden and I just hit it off immediately, and uh I make her laugh really hard, and it makes me selfishly very happy because I seem way funnier than I am when I'm with Braden.
It's kind of hard to make that Jocelyn Emma uh,
It's the worst.
discontent, right?
It's the worst. I'm just kidding. We have so much fun hating each other. Like she just has that thing, and a part of her character, she's confrontational, and I think it's really refreshing for Jocelyn, who I think is somewhat similar personality type wise. I think it's really nice to have someone challenge you in that way, and I'm happy that we have that dynamic, but of course there's a part of me that just wants to be best friends because that's what's easy and fun. I hate being mean to anybody. And Brayden's just like such a perfect Disney princess. Who wants to be mean to Brayden? Nobody.
It's about a year and a half ago when we last spoke, right when you were getting into the WSB
Hmm.
storyline.
Hmm.
Jocelyn had just killed Cyrus. In walks Agent Brennan.
Yep.
Talk about what the last year and a half of WSB life has been on set for you.
Oh, it's been so fun. I have gotten to work closely with new people that I didn't think I'd be working with. I've gotten to do fun stunts and had new sets built for this story, and it it was just such a fun like play. And it was so unexpected for me, and it's nice when you're surprised by the story you're given. And I think there's still a lot there to do and a lot to explore. But, my first like mission to Croatia was so much fun. And, running into Brit and then working with Brit more from there on out and like that propelling us on this other story. It's nice to be a part of WSB because, I mean, one, there's so much history there, and so many iconic General Hospital characters have built that legacy, and it's an honor to like be able to join that story. And it involves there's it involves kind of everybody in this weird way because you have this one mystery, like this one focal point, and I've got one card in that game. I think I'm doing this, and I think I'm working with this person, and blah blah blah, and then I'll see clips of the show, and Sonny's talking about the same thing I'm talking about, and I didn't even know that was happening as Eden or as Jocelyn. And it's fun because I just get to be a part of something bigger than me, and that's always very exciting. But I'm really enjoying it. I've loved it since day one.
One question that came up in my mind anyway was after I should say during your mission to Croatia,
Mhm.
you had to, Jocelyn had to kill her first intruder, let's say, bad
Mhm.
guy,
Mhm.
and that really, yeah, and that really wrecked her up a little bit. So, in your mind, as Eden, does
Mhm.
Jocelyn have what it takes to be a WSB agent for the fact that they have to have no emotion? They have to be heartless at times.
Yeah. Yeah, she can do it. I mean, but the thing is, everything's a choice. So if you're signing up for it, you need to be able to handle your emotions. I don't think it's having no emotion. Everybody that's a WSB agent has always had emotion. I think it's just how you are handling it, and are you getting it out in a healthy way, and are you, being proactive and honest with yourself is the question. And I think that the character of Jocelyn's still very new, and I think it'll definitely be a long time, and it requires experience. In that example, killing someone, I would imagine that you've got to do that a couple of times before you can let that not hit you, you know? Um, and I think it'll just be really fascinating to see the emotional growth if they choose to do that. That the job demands. But because the job is so demanding, you have that's the show. You have to have that contrast. But I think that Jocelyn can do anything she wants to do, but she has to want to do what she's doing. And that, I think, will continue to be in question of her as the job gets harder and as she gets more involved.
Jocelyn's life is about to, I guess we could say, all hell's about to break loose
Mm,
because,
yeah.
you know, Jocelyn and Carly, you and your mother,
Mhm.
finally come head to head because she's known for a while that Jocelyn was in the WSB.
Mhm.
Jocelyn didn't realize. Now she knows that Carly's known what was filming those scenes like.
It was it was such a blur, honestly. It was so devastating and emotional and easy and hard and just all of the things. And I think especially me and Laura and the way we work, I mean, it sounds silly, but we don't really prepare anything. I mean, at least the scenes were written in a way that it didn't really require a lot of prep. I mean, we've been living in this story for a while already. So you've kind of just got all that built up energy. And I think at the core, it's just really heartbreaking for these two grown women to see where they're at. It's a tell in their relationship. Jocelyn wants her to know everything. It's not that but she can't, and she respects her job, and she's taking a stand against this family. And it doesn't mean that she doesn't love her mom and want to be the little girl that tells her everything, but she can't. And that's her devastation, is really getting behind the fact that sh it's not the same relationship. It can't be the same relationship. It doesn't matter if she wants it to be. And there's that heartbreak for her. And then the heartbreak for the character of Carly is, my daughter's capable of doing something like this. She's capable of keeping this from me. She's capable of making her own choices, and I don't have to like them. And there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. And so there's just all this like growing pains. Um, and I think that that's what makes the scenes great. More than, you want everyone to have the shock factor and anger and the yelling, but it's shallow if you don't have what's actually happening. And what's actually happening is these women are getting pulled apart from each other, and it's very uncomfortable for both of them. And so you're gonna like get a reaction that is just both of them freaking out. But it was wonderful to do. It was wonderful to film. Laura's my president. I love her, and she makes me a better actor every time.
And along those same lines, with Jocelyn keeping secrets from Carly, we also know Carly's been keeping a secret from Jocelyn by hiding the most, wanted fugitive from the WSB now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Jocelyn walks in and finds Valentine in her mom's attic. Talk
I know. It's so great. I
talk a
love
little bit about, how the how we can where does Jocelyn and Carly, and in this case Valentine, go from here?
I don't know. I don't know. And that's a really nice place to be honest. I mean, not only do I Eden literally not know where it's gonna go, because I don't as of now, um, but this isn't something that can be pushed under the rug and forgotten about and glazed over and we pretend it didn't happen. And uh gosh, I don't know. I mean, in terms of Valentine, Jocelyn's not a fan. Um, I think that I love the dynamic with Jocelyn and Valentine because Valentine has a WSB history and there's sort of that game recognizes game quality about them that I hope we get to see more of. I absolutely adore James, and whenever anybody would ask me who I wanted to work with more, my answer was always James. So for Eden, filming those was so exciting. And kind of Valentine having that comedic quality of just sitting there watching this World War III happen in front of him was great. And yeah, in terms of what happens to, Carly and Jocelyn's relationship, I mean, they love each other more than anything, and that's always going to be there. And I think that will always help them navigate what to do next. But the T is no one's been in this position, and you don't know until you're in it what's going to happen.
I've asked you this question before, but I'm going to ask you again. Will Jocelyn ever find love? Because, we've gone through the Oscar, the Cam, the Dex, now Vaughn. Will Jocelyn ever find love?
I would love that. That's my answer. Would love that. I don't know. I mean, listen, anything that's worth anything is going to take a long time because she's in such this transitional period and she doesn't even know her own life. I think I think I don't know. I don't know what I think. I mean, people ask me that, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I mean, I would hope. But she's kind of got a lot going on. I think she kind of needs to be single right now. I don't know how this whole thing would be with a dude, to be honest.
Compare and contrast Eden and Jocelyn from age 12, now you're 22.
Mhm.
How has Jocelyn changed? How has Eden changed? Has there been any intersection, etc.?
Oh God. I mean the answer is yes. The answer is yes for both. I think Eden's changed more, 100%. I think Jocelyn, yeah, I think the qualities that always made Jocelyn Jocelyn in a way have just now surfaced and are steering the ship. The passion, her finding what she's passionate about has now kind of taken the driver's seat, and her protective nature of her family, the people that she chooses to care about, all of that is now at the forefront of driving her career and what she wants to do and how she handles it. I think she needed the exposure of being threatened and kind of getting shot out of the nest and like her seat of privilege in the world. I think devastating loss is really important, and she needed to go through that. And now, kind of it's always with her. It's something that changes you forever. And it's nice as an actor to have those moments in your back pocket and kind of find when that can come out in the story. And I think that in a way, she's become more vulnerable over the years. But I think that that just happens with anyone's life experience. I mean, we're talking about a prepubescent child and like now a woman. I mean, it's just it's hard to even put into words, the changes. But I do hope to see her be more vulnerable because it's boring if you're just all have it figured out. I think that that's what I really appreciate about this story. I think for a long time, Jocelyn thought or seemed like or presented in a way to the world that like she kind of got everything she wanted or had it all figured out all the time. And I think it's really refreshing to like actually not have it all figured out and just be 20 whatever who's like killed someone and is now in some deep water. Like I think just going to the basics of what her life is bring you to a really fun place to be as an actor.
Last question. Obviously, we can't give away too much, but what can fans expect to see from Jocelyn in the next few weeks?
Oh God. Some ass kicking. Maybe physically, maybe metaphorically, maybe both. Some tears and I think that sums it up. I think that sums it up. I mean, yeah, some big conversations. Those are my two words. Big conversations.